My 27 male wife, 25 female, is very unhappy and asks me to get rid of or stop doing the things I love to make her happy. But it's never enough. I have no friends or family, so I created an account to ask for help. My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 4. She had a bad marriage before me and had a child. I had no problem stepping up to the plate to help her raise her child. The father wasn't nothing to do with my wife or his kid. To the point, I had 2 friends that I've had since I was 16. They were both female and I had dated one of them for 4 years, but we split up agreeing that we made better friends than an actual couple, which never happens in real life apparently. She always been my go for advice, and I made our friendship 100% transparent for my wife when we first met, and never hid anything. Out of habit, my friend and I still said we love each other, but more of a platonic love. We both loved our current partners and never wanted anything between each other. However, after a few years, this took a toll on my wife, and she asked me to stop telling her that I loved her. So I explained this to my friend, and she said she understood and would have no problem doing so. Another month or so, I still have 100% transparency with my wife as to make her feel comfortable. I got deployed, and my friend had just had her baby and asked me if I wanted to FaceTime see her. I said yes, naturally, happy for her and her husband. After a nice chat and meeting her new son, I got a call from my wife a few days later asking if I had talked to her in FaceTime. I told her that I had and why, also telling her that we had discussed. My wife then didn't talk to me the rest of my deployment. When I got home, I explained that I was sorry it hurt her feelings and wanted to make things better. She told me to never talk to her again. I tried to explain that it was just a friendship and that neither of us wanted a relationship. My wife took it upon herself to call her and tell her that if she didn't stop talking to me forever, that she would tell my friend's husband that we were having an affair. She did not tell any of this. I quickly noticed she had blocked me on everything, including my number. I had no idea what happened, so I confronted my wife, and she told me that she was certain I was cheating on her and that my friend and I were having an affair. She then told me that she had called her and only asked her to not talk to me anymore. I was slightly upset, but stood by her decision and held no grudge. I feel like this event led to the breakdown of everything. She started to have no trust in anything I did, constantly going through my phone, and we should constantly lock her phone or lock herself in the bathroom talking to someone on the phone. She started blaming her job for her unhappiness. I told her that I could pull extra hours at work if she wanted to quit to find a new one. She quickly quit her job and made no attempt to find work again. I was enlisted at that time. She said she hated that I was gone all the time, so I offered to go to reserves to be with her more. She said that would fix it, so I got a civilian job that paid decent, but we had to move. The job is stressful and I'm not very fond of being a civilian. She has now come to the conclusion that I need to get out of the military and quit my civilian job, and we to move again, and that's the only way she'll be happy. I feel like I've given up everything for her to be happy. I'm trying to show her the logic that there is no way for us to survive if neither of us work. I love my wife, and I don't want a divorce, but I feel like she will never be happy, and I'm not sure how to fix it. She blames everything on me and says that I'd be happier with someone else, or says she's leaving again. I'm currently deployed again, and the last week I was home, she wouldn't talk to me or spend time with me and our daughter. She would lock herself in the bedroom all day. Then at that night, she would call my names and say I don't care about her, and I never spend time with her. I'm very confused because I'm not the best with emotions. I'm a logical man, and I see no logical answers here. Any thoughts or advice would be great. Thank you.
There is no logic. She is abusive. I know this is hard to hear, but you need to leave. A partner should not ask you to give up your work, your friends, and everything you enjoy so they can be happy. I am sorry you are in this situation. It sounds like your wife has major issues regarding her jealousy. I'm currently with someone who works away from home, up to 2 months at the longest. Without the trust between us, then it would be a nightmare. Your wife is making totally unreasonable requests that are purely out of jealousy and nothing to do on your part. Her threatening to try and break up another happy marriage on what is essentially a lie, it also very distressing and is drama that is not needed. She also can't make any demands about what you do for a living. I'm assuming you have been deployed throughout the entire relationship, or knew you were going to be, so she should have learned to cope with this fact. I say that either your wife acknowledges that she has a problem and tries to make a valiant effort to change, goes to therapy, etc., or that you should start thinking about how the relationship has run its course. I'm sorry you are in this position. I wish you the best. While I do agree with this, I'll play the devil's advocate and say where I see slightly from your wife's perspective. I know it would be a hard pill to swallow if my husband was telling another woman he loved her, even if it was platonic, considering you had a past together. That should have been the end of that communication, I'd say. Though the past is the past now. It's hard once the trust is gone to rebuild it, and it sounds like your wife is starting to spiral out of control. I'd say find her some help, therapy, some new kind of direction in life, and find yourself some new friends, maybe some male friends, so she has no reason to feel insecure, but so you have people to hang out with and talk to. I will say, though, that you shouldn't let anyone dictate your life or your happiness, even if it is your own wife. I hope you find a resolution. It sounds like she needs professional help, and, rather than figure out why she is unhappy, or what she can do about it, she projecting her insecurities and anxieties onto you, and trying to solve them, by making you solve them. I would encourage her to see a therapist, or start up couples counseling together before doing anything else. The more you enable her to externalize her feelings, or give in to her demands, it means she won't learn to self-soothe, and will continue to escalate her demands of you. She's only 25 and she had a bad marriage before you. I assume, and hope, you two were together for at least a year, before marrying, and generally divorces take about a year, so even given that extremely tight timeline, she was 22-21-ish, when she got married for the first time, and had a child that young. This person to me is showing that she's looking to a husband to fix her problems in life, which go much, much deeper than feeling jealous of a long-time friend. Honestly, she sounds really lost and confused. She needs either serious help or hapless sucker husband 3. Your wife is a manipulative abuser. This behavior is probably why her daughter's father wants nothing to do with her. People like your wife are toxic, will isolate you from everyone and everything you love, and it will never be enough. Your behavior is not the problem. You literally can't give up enough to make a person like this trust you or not act like this, because they are the problem. The more you give up, the worse they get. The more you try to coax, coddle, cajole and apologize / beg your way back into their good graces, the worse they get.